Hey everyone, I just wanted to say this will have spoilers for The Flash Season 3 and possibly Season 1 and 2 as well. So just disclaimer, if you're not caught up on The Flash, you might want to click off this video and add it to your watch later instead. Also, if you are confused with time travel, then you won't want to watch this as well because you'll be very, very confused. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. So the Flash mid-season finale just aired this past week, and this whole past first half of Season 3 has been dealing with Flashpoint. Now, of course, in the comics, there was the whole Flashpoint Paradox, which was basically where Barry went and saved his mom, and then it created this alternate present / future from when his mom died, but the present, and Aquaman was fighting Wonder Woman, and Bruce Wayne's parents were alive, but Bruce was dead, so instead his dad, Thomas Wayne, was Batman. It was all messed up. So Barry had to change the timeline and fix it, which created the New 52. Well, in the show, a similar thing happens. Barry goes and saves his mom, and then it creates an alternate 2016. And so the show has been dealing with the after effects of that, because in the first episode, Flashpoint was fixed, and then Barry goes back, but things are different in this new timeline. Now, of course, in the show it wasn't as extreme with both the after effects as well as Flashpoint itself, but the fact of the matter is this was still Flashpoint. Now everyone, when the Season 2 finale happened, when Barry went and saved his mom, comic book fans, including myself, were all like, "No, Barry, what did you do, idiot?" Because we knew about Flashpoint, so we knew what has happened, what happens after this. Of course, we didn't realize it wouldn't be as extreme. We knew that Aquaman and Wonder Woman wouldn't be in it, but we didn't think it would be that less. Anyway, though, you're like, idiot, you shouldn't have done that, Barry. Come on, you created Flashpoint. Or there were the other fans that are like, yes, Flashpoint is coming to the CW Flash. I've been waiting for this for such a long time. But here's the deal, guys. Flashpoint shouldn't have happened. Now, you're looking at me like, what? No. It should have happened because Barry saved his mom. So, originally Barry's mom wasn't alive. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure it did happen. But no. It shouldn't have happened, because going back to Season 1, way back in Season 1, Eobard Thawne is talking to Barry, and this happens.
What? No big belly burger? It's one of the few perks of living in this time. We're out of cows where I come from. You don't care about that. You have questions, go ahead.
Not sure where to start. Thawne? That is your real name? Eobard Thawne?
Since the day I was born.
And when was that?
136 years from now. This is not what you want to know. Go ahead, Barry. Ask it.
Why did you kill my mother?
Because I hate you. Not you now. You years from now.
In the future?
In a future, yes. We're enemies, rivals, opposites, reverses of one another.
Why? Why were we enemies?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore. What matters is that neither of us was strong enough to defeat the other. Until I learned your secret. I learned your name. Barry Allen. And finally, I knew how to defeat you once and for all. Travel back in time. Kill you as a child. Wipe you from the face of the earth. But then you, future you, that is, followed me back and we fought. We both landed some pretty solid shots. And then you, future you, got your younger self out of there. I was so mad. And I thought, what if you were to suffer a tragedy? What if you were to suffer something so horrible, so traumatic that your child self could never recover? Then you would not become the Flash. And so I stabbed your mother in the heart. And I was free. Finally able to return to a future without the Flash. Only to realize that in traveling back, I lost my way home. Lost my ability to harness the Speed Force. And without it, I was stuck here, stranded in this time, unable to return to my own. And the only way back was the Flash. But the Flash was gone, and so I created him.
Alright, so now that you've seen that clip, you're probably wondering, how does that have to do with Flashpoint whatsoever? Well, in that clip, Eobard, Dr. Wells, Thawne, Mr. Weird Disguise Dude, Reverse Flash, is like, he's telling Barry about this timeline where Barry was the Flash and then they were rivals. They fought just like they do in this timeline. But here's the thing. That happened with an older Flash. Flash became the Flash later, hence why this particle accelerator had to be created earlier than it was going to be. Because if you look at the real Harrison Wells from Earth 1, he was just developing Star Labs. Well, Eobard Thawne knew Star Labs was around and everything about it, so he had to do that sooner and create the particle accelerator sooner, make it go up faster, so that Eobard can get back home sooner than having to wait, like, who knows, maybe 20, 30, 40 years for Barry to finally get his super speed. And so that shows there was this timeline where Barry's mom was alive. There's a timeline where Barry's mom was alive, and Barry went and fought Eobard. I mean, they fought all the time, and Eobard didn't like this, so he was going to kill Barry Allen, get rid of him, but he realized he couldn't do that because then he wouldn't have his super speed, so he's like, well, I'll kill Barry's mom. And then he also realized Flash wouldn't be around then, so no matter what, he's stuck with the Flash as much as he hates it. But he could give Barry pain now for the rest of his life. Well, if he took away his mom, that means guys, there was a timeline where Barry's mom is alive, and guess what? It's not Flashpoint. Which means that when Barry saved his mom, it should have just gone back to that timeline where Barry becomes Flash at a later date, and there's no after effects. Flashpoint was the real timeline. Now you're like, well, in season 3, there's Barry's losing memories of that timeline. That's because, yeah, the timeline's gone, but he's also probably losing his super speed. Yeah, that's because he doesn't have it yet. He'll get it in a few years. Where Dr. Wells was from Earth 1, I have no idea, because guess what? He shouldn't have been killed by Eobard. Or, I mean, like, no, he shouldn't, he wasn't killed by Eobard, so, maybe, in the original timeline, Kid Flash became the Flash before Barry Allen ever did. Maybe that's how time was supposed to be. We don't know, but we do know, according to Season 1, that before the whole Flash show started, there was a timeline where Barry's mom was alive, Flash was the Flash at a later date, and he fought Eobard, and Eobard hated it. That's why Reverse Flash went back to kill Barry's mom in the first place. So that wouldn't happen. I mean, if he did that and that created the show, well then Barry saving his mom would have just fixed all that. It wouldn't have created Flashpoint like in the comics. No, Flashpoint shouldn't be there. If anything, the Flashpoint universe, like I've mentioned a few times, would be the actual universe, and maybe it was. And Barry going back to this universe, it really should have just fixed it to how it originally was. In the comics, it was different, but in this, Barry traveling back to his current Earth shouldn't have changed anything, because guess what? He just did the same thing Reverse Flash did, and Flashpoint was just the universe that Eobard originally lived in. So guess what? There's a huge paradox in the Flash show that the writers haven't found out yet. But you know what? I really love the show, so I'm just going to stop complaining now. But if I'm wrong, correct me in the comments, but let me just sum this up. Eobard lived in a timeline where Nora Allen was alive. Eobard hated this, so he traveled back in time to kill Nora Allen. Barry hated that Nora Allen was dead, so Barry traveled back in time and saved Nora. This then created Flashpoint, but really, it should have created that timeline Eobard originally lived in. Barry fixes Flashpoint, and it should go back to the Season 1 timeline. And that's how the show should be right now, back in its normal track. All Flashpoint Paradox stuff should have been resolved, or it shouldn't have happened in the first place. I hope you like this theory that really isn't a theory because it's what should have happened. So, but I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like it, share it with your friends, and maybe even the Flash cast and crew themselves so they can see how it should be. Comment below your thoughts on it. Follow me on Twitter at tweb_bond. And subscribe to the channel for more. Thanks, guys. See you next time.